Location, Gold Reef City. Why choose Gold Reef City to do the 100-day landmark occasion?
I think the team working on the whole marketing PR campaign looked at symbolically Gold Reef City, the challenge to achieve gold medals or achieve medals at the Olympic Games. So we thought it would be a nice touch to have it here. It's a lovely surrounding and setting, and hopefully we can get our athletes and the whole of South Africa starting to think Olympic Games and the medals that we need to achieve.
Why are the Olympic Games important? Why are they important for us?
They're actually an important component of world sport. People talk about the FIFA, the Football World Cup as the biggest event. It's actually the Olympic Games that's the biggest event in the world, because you just mentioned 26 sport that's contested, not just one single sport type. Athletes perform, when you're an Olympic champion or just an Olympian, you're already a role model for the youth of the country. When you're an Olympic champion, it opens up doors both for the athlete, for the country itself. You get recognized as having produced gold medalists or other medalists at the games. So it definitely is a very important, very tough stage to perform on.
Talk about preparations. How are preparations coming along ahead of this tough stage?
Look, we started the program in 2009. We have Operation Excellence, where we've got athletes who are ranked in the top echelons of the world sport, both in Olympics and Paralympics. We've funded quite a lot of their preparation over the period. We are continuing to do that. The athletes are busy in attempting to qualify. There's always qualification systems which is agreed by the IOC and the International Federation. However, we have our own agreement with the National Federation and ourselves as SASCOC, just to ensure that the quality of qualification will lead to a good performance for us as a country.
What is a challenge, though, for a country like ours? I mean, our medal haul, as it were, sometimes it hasn't been a haul at all. It's just been a lonesome medal, as it were. What is our biggest challenge in terms of getting the type of quality qualification you're talking about, but that can also lead to a really competitive showing at the Games?
Yeah, I think, look, we talk about development and transformation. My own opinion is that we were 17, 18 years down the line, and that hasn't been successful simply because we haven't created opportunities around the country. We normally find one talent, take the person out of their environment. If they succeed, then great. If they don't, they go back to nothing. The other challenge is, of course, many countries focus and say, look, our best strengths are, for example, in our case, swimming and athletics. Let's channel more of our resources and programs to that. But then you got the other side of the coin where other sports are saying, but we're part of this country. And there's never enough resources. But yes, there's the National Lottery, which is a huge resource. And I think probably a little bit of restructuring there will help us a long way.
But why is it Australia, China, to some degree, well, the United States, those the established countries, the UK and so on? What do they do differently, though? I mean, the quality of coaching, Russia as well, they seem to do very well traditionally. What is it that they do differently to us?
Well, the difference is that I don't think there's a difference in terms of what has to be done. I think we all know what has to be done. The question is, if you take the countries you've mentioned, a large part of their support comes from government. In our case, that's not the case. If you looked at the recent budget speech, sport was not mentioned. So, already you're fighting a situation, and while we understand government has so many other priorities, but sport is a nation builder, but the resources are almost inadequate.
Is this a money thing now? When you talk about resources, is it money? If you look at Australia, we're competing with Australia for the SKA. Would you say Australia spends more on sports than what South Africa does?
The figures most certainly show that. Australia, China, UK, US, even the UK. Of course, those are big nations in terms of budgets, but we need to find a way to get the necessary resources. And then all those other plans about coaching, we've got now a South African coaching framework for the country. We need to get our coaches upgraded. We want to employ coaches in the country, not from outside the country. And those processes are underway, but all that needs resourcing.
Let's talk about recent controversy about the team kit. What has happened? Is the team kit being sourced from outside the country? Is it being sourced from here?
I think for me, the issue is, while we support the proudly South African, and that we need to promote what is South African to create the necessary opportunities for our people, we are not purchasing this clothing. And that's the essential difference. Here's a company who has come on as a sponsor. They are not giving us any money, but they're giving us clothing to the equivalent value of $4 million.
Who?
Erki. There's a company from China called Erki, and they're giving us clothing to the tune of $4 million over the period from now till 2016. And we deliver 14 games in 4 years.
So we're not procuring from here?
No, we're not. We're not procuring from here because we're not paying for it. So we're being provided clothing by this company who has come on board as a sponsor.
So the South African Olympic team is being dressed from China?
That's correct, by a company that's sponsoring the clothing.
Okay. Thank you very much, Thabi Reddy, CEO of SASCOC, joining us this morning. There you have it. The South African Olympic team. The South